But Corey Graves, now his podcast is under the WWE's umbrella of shows, After the Bell or whatever it's called, where he does his podcast. He had an interesting comment, I thought, about today's product. And he said, the one way the industry has changed as a whole is I feel there's a lot less focus on characters these days. Right, wrong, or indifferent, everybody's got their flavor of ice cream, what they prefer. I always missed and loved being invested in the characters we see on Raw and SmackDown and NXT. I've said I would like to see more character pieces. However, it's almost more of an incentive to subscribe to the network on Peacock to really dive into the specials, whether it's WWE 24 or Chronicles, to really get to know the person behind what you see on screen for a fraction of the show. He puts over all the documentaries that they do on there, and he said, I would like to see more character-driven content in the shows themselves, but now you just have to look a little bit further and expand it.
Yeah, but that's not character-driven content. That's like real person content, person behind the character. It's like there are no characters. Like, remember how Steve Austin had this rant when he was talking about, okay, who is Seth Rollins? What is the architect? I don't get this character. Like, what is it about this character that I'm supposed to get the architect, right? And, like, look, here we are, like, 3 years later, and, like, this guy's been 4 different characters.
No, it's been more. He's been more than that.
So it's like, bro, it's like, I don't even think people understand, because there's no depth to characters. It's like, what exactly makes a character? Like, once again, this is what I say to everybody, okay? And this is most over-the-top Hall of Fame characters in the history of the wrestling business, okay, is what can you do with them? Is there are things that they do that a fan can imitate. If I'm pretending I'm this guy, ooh yeah, and stick the finger, or do the woo, there's things about characters I can imitate. Who can you imitate today? What do those people do that if I'm living vicariously through that character, I'm going to impersonate that character and show and do what they do? So all these characters today are just given verbal content. Most of it's atrocious. Sometimes it's decent. And that's how we get character development from these people. And like you see, it's like, if you're giving a character a bunch of shitty things to say, how are we going to get his character over?
You have to have storylines and put them in situations to get the character over. Without those stories and those situations, you're never going to get a character. Bro, I'll tell you something I'm thinking off of the top of my head. I'm thinking off Briscoe and Patterson looking in the bowels of the building for, I think, Mick, with miners' helmets and the light on top. Now you see this. Oh, okay, we get it. These two guys are buffoons. Like these two guys. If you don't
you think of Mick is going, what's this guy doing? He's weird. Why is he hanging out in the basement of the building?
Right. If you don't have story and put them in those situations, you can't have a character. You can't put them in the back, bro, with the girl with the microphone, have them cut a wrestling promo, and that's no, bro. You got to put them in the environment, in the situation.
Like when Vince and him are looking for Stone Cold Steve Austin, and they're in the Southwest, and they go to the barbecue place.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Vince is yelling at him for being a slob.
Thank you. And how long ago was that, Glenn, that you still freaking remember it?
Forever. It's been like, but still, you remember stuff like that because that's the spots that build the characters up.
You got to put them in those situations.
That vignette. I remember Vince, because like Briscoe, like he was a slob, he had stuff all over him, and like he ended up yelling at the waiter because he was a mess.
That was the best.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh man, that was the best.
Like seriously, like you could take Briscoe and Patterson and 4 non-wrestlers like the Mean Street Posse and do months of TV with them because their characters are so well defined. It's like how easy is that, right?
Jeff, I swear to you, and I know I've told you this story before. I don't know if Glenn knows it before. These are the lengths we used to go through. When I think back now of what we went through, I'm like, bro, the OJ murder had just happened. Okay, bro, his house was still standing. His house has since been bulldozed. It had just happened. Bro, I took Road Dogg and Jeff, okay? Every 60 seconds, cops are circling the house because they don't want people stopping by every 60-second, bro. So we're sitting there with a stopwatch. We get down the routine of, okay, bro, every minute 20, he's coming. We get down the routine. As soon as he leaves, we know we got like a minute 15. Jeff, Road Dogg run into place right in front of the freaking house. The gimmick was Road Dogg found the garment bag in the bushes. Road Dogg's got the bushes. We knew, bro, we had an hour 15 to shoot this, and then he's going to come around again. When I look at the lengths we went, bro, bringing Bob Backlund to spring break, is it that they're so freaking lazy or they just don't give a shit, bro? God, man, we had so much fun doing that stuff.
Because culture has changed so much, and there's just such a political correctness is not a thing anymore. Everybody's worried, and I think this is what's happened with I don't want to call it cancel culture, but just like the climate out there right now that, for creative people, having to constantly worry about what content you're creating obviously inhibits the creation of good content. Because as it's gotten to where you're scared to say things and do things and stuff, everything, it's just like, bro, we're just inhibiting the creativity of an artistic impression of people by giving them all these things you can't do. And ultimately, what is the product of that? A bunch of shitty movies, a bunch of shitty shows, a bunch of shitty. It's like, bro, we're erasing you're seeing artistic impression being erased and replaced with programmed content, where you're kind of forced to deliver certain types of content because there's all these things you can't do, especially in wrestling. The thing is, AEW's got a little bit of free reign to kind of do the things that we weren't supposed to do anymore. Vulgar language, blood, so that they're doing these things, and maybe like the TNT people are looking at, well, hey, we've got 900,000 fans. Let's let them do this.
Yeah. It's funny, Glenn, because when you say that, which does make a lot of sense, and also to back it up, bro, what is the most popular thing on Netflix, bro? The most popular thing on Netflix are documentaries, because it's a documentary. Like, they're telling a story that really happened. So you can't cancel a story that really happened. And it's really the documentaries. Every time somebody tells me I got to check something out on Netflix, it's a documentary. It's not a program, because documentaries, it happened. It's real life. It's reality. You can't cancel what happened.